How has a career in AI impacted your life?
It's enabled me to see the impact that you as an individual, but also as a company or as quite a small team can have on trying to change a problem. And so in that sense, it's been very motivational to see that and to keep trying to do that. And that's why I still work in tech and I haven't kind of done 1 year or something and left.
The most interesting impact to me has been this constant sense of discovery, this constant sense of being part of a stream of discovery that goes on and it's continued. And that is very satisfying. It's very exciting. And don't get me wrong, this is, I think every technology, every science sort of environment will have the same discovery aspect. There's always something new. Someone somewhere is doing something, and maybe it's you who's doing it for someone else. And there's always that sense of kind of building on top of others and standing on the shoulder of giants and kind of looking forward into the future. And that has a very positive impact on my life. I feel part of this continuum, if you like, that basically started so long ago and is continuing exponentially, and everyone is kind of joining in. And that gives you a very strong sense of being part of a larger current, and that's definitely important.
The good thing about the career in technology, I think the biggest impact I had thanks to that is you're basically welcome everywhere. Like, people are looking for people with that background absolutely everywhere around the world. So it really opens gates. If you want to travel in different country, I mean, I started in Switzerland, but I also live in the UK, now in France. And you can move pretty easily. There will be people looking for someone with your background. So currently, companies are more open to remote work. So you can actually work from different places more easily as long as you're more or less on the same time zone. So it's definitely a huge plus on this career path.
The biggest thing for me, I guess it's impacted me, and I hope to impact it as well in kind of like a similar way, is I did not understand before coming into this field the actual implications of AI at all. So now that I know how everything works and the ethical side of things, the biases of especially large pre-trained language models and things like that, not to mention the environmental costs of actually training models and, using AWS and all these things, I had no idea. And so I think now having this deep understanding of how everything in my phone works and how, facial recognition works has been really has changed the way I see a lot of businesses and technology. And that's been very interesting. And what I want to do in the field is kind of go in that direction, fairly represent all speakers, even, people with speech disorders or neurodivergent people, people of color. To put it into perspective, there was 1 week in my master's course that was the ethics week. And everybody basically took that week off. They're like, this is the easy week. And for me, I was like, that was probably the most life-changing week of my life. I was like, this is what's needed. This is where I can make a difference. I think that's kind of the niche of AI that has really changed the way I see things. And hopefully I can impact that part as well.
I started this because like I said, I didn't have choice. But then once you started it and you make full-hearted effort at it, I have consistently got scholarships. I could, got all prestigious scholarships from European Union. Then I got from Google. Then I got one from JP Morgan Chase and UK government. And after that, I found a job at JP Morgan where there has been significant impact. So a lot of the work which I am doing, I can see direct impact, not only for the customers, but at a larger extent, right? So starting from a career where you think about something which you can do to ending in places where you immediately see impact of what you studied for 4 years being in the world, right? So that transition has been quite big. So going from, they're deciding this is the field, you study it, and then seeing the impact of that work at a scale. So that's what the organization helps. For example, JP Morgan scale means that whatever I studied for my PhD has much broader and larger impact than I actually imagined when I decided to join the firm. So yeah, so that has been the amazing part of the journey.
I'm a person that I like to ask lots of questions. So I think this career really has encouraged me to be a more rigorous person and strengthened my belief in doing so. The reasons being, I think not just in machine learning or artificial intelligence, just in real life, there are lots of seemingly correct or clear conclusions that people can make, but they could be completely wrong or just irrelevant. So I think in the process, I think this is true for math as well, or any engineering or any pursuit of science. I think it's very important for people to ask questions and to reach the correct conclusion. You really need a logical process. And I think being in this path, being in machine learning and artificial intelligence really enhanced my thinking process. So I think this is actually very important for every single person, not just, doesn't matter your career, but just in daily life. I think this is important.
In so many ways, it's really exciting. I think AI, as I said, is really taking off and becoming part of our everyday life and everything we do, and it's going to only grow from here. I think I've learned so much, and it's impacted my life because it's my whole career and whole job is around AI and how can we build AI models and bring them to the world in places where it's today is currently manual. So in the space I'm in, lots of sort of content moderation and online safety relies on humans and people reviewing videos and taking them down. And so for me, I think the power of AI is so strong here, in that you can actually replace this very horrible manual job with something with an AI powered machine. I think that's really, really exciting.
I think it's also made it clear how hard it is to build things. It's not easy to create products, to build technology, particularly at Unitary. I'm learning even more than I ever have about how difficult it is to build and ship software. And there are various processes around building something from a technical perspective. I'm usually operating in the realm of building the company. So building the product is one thing, but then being able to build the company around that and be able to make it work and sell what you've just built to other people and find the people who have that problem and then manage to grow and scale beyond that. That is also the really interesting thing. And I think that's had an impact on me from a career perspective, but also from a life perspective, just thinking of similar processes and similar ways of doing that. If there's anything I need to do to solve a problem or to build something, even to gather people around a particular objective, whether it's business or sort of family or any other area of life, I think it's been very interesting.
One thing I would say is that it allows me to be more flexible with my work life. I'm working from home very regularly. Most of the companies that I interact with also have a kind of hybrid scheme, if not completely working from home. Working in technology, at least at the level of design that we work on, does allow you that, because most of the effort, again, is a very creative effort. And when managers realize that, when it is recognized, it means that you work best wherever you work best. And that flexibility, and also the time that you work best. Obviously, there's a baseline that, for communications and so on. But that does allow you to have the time to research, does allow you to have the time to develop, does allow you the time to actually do the work when necessary. I kind of moved from management back into architecture, more kind of practical. And again, that's very interesting because you do need that space to actually do the work. And that flexibility to choose how you work, where you work, really has a positive impact on my life.
To be honest, compared to other fields I have worked, one of the great things of this field, culturally, one of the best cultures you would find. People are accommodative and you will find a lot more people helping you. So if you reach out to a random person in this field anywhere, they're very, very likely to help you rather than shoo you away, because there is a lot of demand for this field. Everybody is encouraged to join and study each year. So if you just reach out, so that I think has been the most uplifting part as well. And I think I am part of the same cohort that somebody reaches me out that, okay, can we do something? How will you go about this, etc. People are very happy to help.
You can see that in today's society, I think lots of people have really, really polarized opinions. I wouldn't say that they just like easily believe on something, they see something, they directly jump to a conclusion. I think it's important for everyone to have a reflection, to really think what is right. Is this some media claiming some fact? Is that really true? Is that misleading? I think this is a really critical value or ability to every single person. And I think this career really has strengthened me in that sense.